Get up like 4 and like go for a run.
Just like stand like this for like,
man. Like
2 minutes.
Me getting up early for a run is like 7.
It's fine, we'll fix it in post, it's fine.
So I go for a run and get my like 8:30 or 9.
Hey, I'm Mike, and welcome to Watch Culture, where we like to recommend movies that you should watch. Today I'm going to talk about the classic mockumentary, What We Do in the Shadows, directed by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement of Flight of the Conchords, starring Jermaine, Taika, and Jonathan Brugh. Now, to kind of give you a backstory of what this movie is about, it's about this film crew that follows around a group of vampires living in a small flat in Australia. But they kind of document these vampires' lives in a way that you wouldn't really expect. Like, imagine what you would think about your typical vampire, like creepy old dude sitting in a castle, like drinking blood of innocent people on the street. And they go with that up until like a certain point, but then the film does this really crazy job of making the vampires super relatable and kind of adorable at the same time. The film goes in depth of what they do on like their day-to-day routines, and what you find is that it's typical house house roommate situations where one person isn't doing the dishes right, and like they have this little wheel on the wall that denotes what everybody's chores are, and it's kind of great. The humor is, in my opinion, like I like awkward humor, so I love this movie, but the humor is just so awkward, like borderline cringeworthy, but it's still really charming and hilarious at the same time. The role, all the characters that Taika, Jermaine, and Jonathan play, they're all, their characters are so likable and so relatable, and, it's one of those movies that kind of takes what you think about vampires and flips it on its head. I would definitely recommend watching just for that alone. And being a documentary, you think it's just a film crew following the day-to-day life of vampires, but there's actual story arcs throughout this entire movie. It's straight documentary for about a quarter of the movie, and then you meet other characters like this guy named Stu, who is this random human on the street that they just suddenly befriend and love to bits, to the point where they told each other, like, we're not gonna bite this guy. We love Stuart so much. That's how much we care about him. And he just becomes another one of the guys. And then you find out there's other aspects in the community, like there's a small little werewolf community, and they treat this group as though they were like an AA group. It's so weird because they're all supporting one another and trying to calm each other down before the next full moon. It's so well done and beautifully crafted. The script is just hilarious. But yeah, it's one of those movies that isn't on a whole lot of people's radars because it was a limited release, but I would highly recommend you check this out just for the humor alone, and just to see a vampire movie that really breaks the mold in an industry that's kind of just saturated with vampire movies like Twilight or Daybreakers. I think that's what that movie was called. But yeah, so yeah, check it out. It's What We Do. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. This has been another episode of Watch Culture. Hi, welcome to another episode of Crosstalk. My name's Mike, and today we're going to discuss why the cinematic masterpiece that is Armageddon is an instant classic. Point 1, Michael Bay. Oh, hey Chris. Ah! No!